Hello, hi. My name is Damian Jackson. I go by DJ. I just wanted to tell you that so for my signature assignment for ITL 510 week 2 read aloud, I chose the book Moses When Harriet Tubman Led Her People to Freedom. The reason why I chose this book is because it's a Caldecott Honor book and it won the Coretta Scott King Award. And it also means a lot, especially with it being February and Black History Month. I felt like it would only add to the curriculum that the students are already being taught under. So my process for preparing for the read aloud is reading resources found on Blackboard, and I also have experience before doing read alouds when I was in a credential program in San Diego State. So I was doing I did student teaching for a semester, and I did the Lucy Calkins book for literature for English Arts for second grade, and it gave specific instructions for how to do a read aloud. I'm sorry if I sound kind of sick, because I am. I actually have the flu. I just wanted to make sure I submitted the assignment and make sure I got my contribution in. So how I felt before I did the read aloud was I actually sat there and was feeling kind of anxious because I wasn't sure when I would be able to fit this read aloud in, because I didn't want to take away from any other work the class was doing, and the fact that I also had my own limitations based on scheduling. How did I feel when I began reading was I was kind of anxious because some of the students were very they can't sit still for very long, and I totally understand and respect that. But they kept getting up throughout the video, so it just kind of made me like uncomfortable, because here I'm trying to read the story to the kids, but I'm also wondering if any of the kids would show up on video. While I was reading, same thing, I was really anxious, but when I was done, I felt relieved. But I also felt really, I felt like I mattered, because if anything, I was really surprised the kids knew as much as they did. Like I said, it was a room of first graders, and they were well versed in Harriet Tubman and understand the meaning behind working for free or working and getting paid. The children's reactions to the book before, during, and after was the kids were interested initially because it was a read aloud. During the middle, somewhat, they were confused whether the fiction was nonfiction text or it was fiction. And I had to clarify that it was historical fiction because there are fictional elements. And it was also understanding, like, when I started reading to them, I was like, whoa, it's a lot of references to God. But if anything, it complimented the story. It wasn't preachy. It wasn't any way offensive. If anything, the kids understood that, that was to her, and obviously we could not know exactly what she thought, because these weren't her words. These are words that someone else had written down about her. My strengths, I felt like one of my strengths was the fact that I was so patient with the kids. I engaged with them. I tried to encourage them to actually to think and to question and to ponder what was happening. And I wasn't pushing kids to talk about slavery. They mentioned it themselves, and the fact that she was a slave. And for me, I also felt that that was really, really good, that to have that reaction from the kids. One of my challenges was, like I said at the beginning, I was so nervous that I realized I wasn't showing the children the pages of the book, and I think I was getting camera shy. But at the same time, I was glad that I was able to actually realize, as I was reading, to change the video around. Change the book around so that the children can actually see the words, or if anything, see the pictures, so they can actually understand what was going on. I also felt like I ran over time. The book should have lasted a lot less amount of time, and it was very unfortunate. Um, um, what could I do differently to improve my next read aloud? Is initially was to the next thing I should do is definitely remember to have the book to face the kids, the pages so the kids can see, and I would maybe not have it after recess, which is what happened after lunch recess. I feel like maybe they need a transition period before actual video, before the actual read aloud assignment, especially on recording because you're getting antsy. Um, what I learned about reading aloud to children was that it's pretty fun, especially when the children are engaged with the text. And I felt like as if, like I said before, as if I mattered, or more importantly, that the text mattered, and the kids got the text, and they were able to formulate their own conclusions without me leading them. What I learned about myself as a teacher was that I learned that to have more patience and to understand that sometimes everything doesn't go according to plan during the lesson, and that you have to work with what you have. And I very greatly appreciate that. With that said, I'm so grateful for this chance to have to read aloud with the first graders because it was actually really, really fun. Thank you so much. Have a good night.